What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we have another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet rumor, leak, and riddle update to share with everyone today. And I just released one yesterday, but Riddler keeps on posting information, and I'm going to keep updating with you as soon as I hear this info. And of course, guys, if you enjoy this type of video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Riddler has brought back the classic hardcore riddle. He used to do a lot of these back in the day, but now he's bringing it back. He's tired of doing just images to keywords, and here's just a image full of C++ code, and we need to figure out what this code actually says, what is the results of actually running this code, and more, right? So when you try to run this code, you can see that it doesn't actually work. The code is broken. It is filled with bugs, right? And it actually does mention some interesting stuff within the code. It says Japanese max size is something that sticks out. A board, puppy move, smell. There's puppy pee. There's poop. There's some interesting keywords in here. And Centro is finding its way. It pisses at X and Y, right? Which are coordinates. When you try to actually run the code, it doesn't run because there are 3 bugs that are stopping it from running. But if you do fix the errors in the logic, you can actually get this text to appear. Centro is finding its way. It pisses at X and Y, which are coordinates. And it says that for a bunch of lines until you get to the end, which is at 4-4, and then it says you win, which means we solve the code here, right? So this is essentially Riddler saying he is guiding Centro with his leaks, but there is some actual real leaks to this, right? Very important to mention that there were 3 bugs within this code, and the bugs are highlighted here on lines 4, lines 12, and lines 15. And on line 4, it says int Japanese max size equals 5, 12 is smell puppy X, puppy Y equal S, and then 15, if board XY does not equal 1 and smell XY equals 0, and then it's unfinished line of code here. So the error is the unfinished line of code here. The error here is using the wrong quotations for the S. It should be a single line quotes instead of the double usual quotes. And this does not work either because it doesn't need to equal 5 because we're ending at 4-4. So these are our 3 big errors. And Riddler did tweet more after that, actually. He says, how many bugmons do you find while debugging this project? Each is a new line. Enjoy Hardcore Riddle series. And then he says, lastly, kindly reminder, descriptions for each line are also mentioned. So this is very interesting. How many bugmons do you find while debugging this project? So we found 3 bugs, right? I highlighted the 3 bugs we located, 4, 12, and 15, right? Each is a new line. Each is a new line. So he is saying these are 3 new bug lines. Not just bug Pokemon, not just 3 new bug Pokemon, but 3 new bug lines. So they could have multiple evolutions. They can be a 3-stage evolutionary one, which I assume at least one of these will have at least 3 stages. Probably one that's going to have 1 or 2, and then just one that's going to be by itself. But I assume we're going to be getting at least one that evolves twice, right? So that's very exciting stuff because when I love bug types, so that's awesome. And Gen 7 and 8 had some phenomenal bug love, so it looks like Scarlet and Violet is going to keep that up, which I'm super excited about. And something he mentioned in this tweet, descriptions for each line are also mentioned. So now this is where we start using our minds and figuring out what these lines actually mean. So we got to figure out one, Japanese max size. And now we know we're talking about bugs. So he's talking about a Japanese bug that is massive, and massive Japanese bug. And he did bring this up actually in a previous riddle talking about just a brand new bug type and a Japanese max size bug. So when I think of a Japanese bug that's pretty big, there are a couple that come to my mind, but probably the biggest one is going to be the Japanese Hercules beetle. This thing is massive. It's actually what Heracross ends up being based on, which is very cool. So if we get another beetle like Heracross, I'm either thinking, one, is this a regional form of Heracross? Or is this a new evolution of Heracross? Or it's just a brand new thing, right? So I'm sort of thinking about that. However, when I really started thinking about max size in Japan, right? there are things that are max size. And I'm thinking of sumo wrestlers. And now I'm thinking of a massive bug Pokemon that is a sumo wrestler that is also maybe a beetle. I mean, these beetles do fight each other. I've seen videos on that. And I also think of Pokemon Xenoverse, where we look at Hercules, right? This Hercules beetle type Pokemon, which is a sumo Pokemon and is bug and fighting. I can see it happen. I can see us getting a bug and fighting sumo Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I think that would be really sick. I mean, I think the word Japanese and max size really narrows it down to a sumo Pokemon. Definitely let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about the max size Japanese Pokemon? Now, our next bug is on line 12 here, and it talks about smell and puppy. I'm going to say shout outs to Pokemon FM for figuring out this one, because this is pretty smart. What bug is associated with dogs? It's going to be a flea. And apparently there is a southern Spain type of flea that lives there all around, and it makes sense. I can see it happening. I mean, it's hard to depict what bug could be after a smell, but when you really think about dogs, it's gonna probably be a flea. So shout out to Pokemon FM on this, and they broke it down here, essentially saying that the first one is a dog flea, and this is a very common in Spain, especially with the climate, and Ku was hinting on a dog a lot in the code, which I definitely agree with. Fleas are always present in our society and not only capable of spreading multiple epidemics against humans, but also responsible for many animal ailments if preventative measures are not taken. Another hint that there may be a flea Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet is that Lechonk's description says that its odor repels bug Pokemon. Normally, this wouldn't mean anything. However, Lechonk is a pig, and in real life, pigs have really thick skin that are actually resistant to fleas. So fleas are actually not attracted to pigs. They'll go to other animals where it's easier for them to actually penetrate their skin to take their blood. So I can see that Lechonk and this other flea type bug, you know, being in the same type of grass. And now I'm really thinking that this flea type bug is probably our early game bug Pokemon. Now to the last line of code here. If board XY and equals smell, pretty much the important word here is bored, and Matt FM has figured this one out, and I agree with his conclusion. The second Pokemon is probably a new butterfly or a moth that was implied by the word bored in the code. Spreading board is a tool for insect collectors, mainly butterflies and insect with wings, maybe implying on a bug ghost type Pokemon that's a butterfly or a moth. And I sort of agree with that. And here's some good images with a spreading board if you're unfamiliar. If you ever seen those butterflies or moths in those display cases, this is actually how they set them up. They take their dead bodies and then they spread them on this board. They can split them in half. They can put pins in them. And that's how they do that, right? So these are obviously dead insects. Maybe it is a bug ghost Pokemon. And that would be pretty sick because I believe the only other bug ghost that we have is Shedinja, which is definitely a meme of a Pokemon. It'll be really cool to have a legitimate, usable bug ghost Pokemon that we can maybe see in competitive play. And I'll be all about that. And, you know, probably maybe be a moth because it'll be dead. So we'll have to see. I'm really happy with the future of bug Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet just from these riddles themselves. They seem pretty cool, and you know, I'm definitely gonna try to put these bug Pokemon on my in-game team, and hopefully some of them be good and competitive. Well, guys, let me know what you think about these bug type riddles. Do you believe them? Do you think we're looking too far into it? Do you think there's other bugs we may have missed? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. Peace out.